Hi, welcome to video number 1, WHS. Why do we have it? Why are we actually using a system when we compare it to the old one? And that's the best way to describe why we use WHS and why the governing bodies have installed this as our preferred handicap management system. The old system used to give an index or a number to you as your handicap. So, for example, the number would have been either an exact number or a decimalized number. So let's say, for example, your handicap was 10.2. That meant that you would have got 10 shots. End of. It was 10 shots. 10 shots whether you play A course, B course, C course, D course, off AT, BT, CT or DT. It makes no difference. Whatever course you were playing that day, you would get 10 shots. Now, the number was rounded. So, for example, if you were 10.2, 10.3, 10.4, or as low as 9.6, it would have been rounded up or rounded down to 10. And that was, again, something that gave people the ability to know exactly how many shots they were getting, and whatever course they were playing, whether they were playing the easiest course in the world or the most toughest course in the world, 10 shots was what they got. And that was it. Whether they're playing the back tees, the forward tees, the middle tees, or whatever, it was 10 shots. And the adjustments from that were very simple. Depending on the number you had as a handicap, would put you into a category of player, category 1, 2, 3, and so on. And the low handicap indexes, or the low handicaps, I should say, were category 1, higher 2, higher still 3, and so on. And depending on what category you were, when you had a bad round, it determined what you got back or what you got cut if you had a good round. So there was different rates of getting shots back. When I say shots back, it meant an increase on your handicap. It means they gave you something back. So, for example, if you were, let's say, 9.6 and you had a series of bad rounds, and you were getting back 0.1 every time you had a bad round, it would take you 9.6, 9.7, 9.8, 9.9, 10, 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, 10.4, 10.5, 10 rounds to go from 10 handicap to 11 handicap. And that is how the old system worked. It wasn't portable. It wasn't giving you a different number of shots for depending on what course or tee you were playing. It was rigid and it was regimental and it was what people knew. Now the WHS was brought in to give more flexibility and giving you a stronger chance to play your best ability golf wherever you played and give you a portable handicap. How it worked was very simple. Your handicap was converted to an index, and your world handicap system, your WHS index, again was a number with a decimal place, only one decimal place, and that then computed into a shot allowance or a handicap for the course you were playing that day. Very simply, every course was rated. Every course was given a rating depending on the severity of its difficulty, how easy it was, how difficult, how medium it was, whatever it was given a rating, and that rating, there's a calculation out there, determined what your shot allowance for that day and on what tee. So every course was out there, was rated per tee as well as the whole course as well. So if you're playing Wentworth white tees, the back tees, you'd get a different number of shots than if you were playing Wentworth forward tees. If you were playing your club, you'd be getting a different number of shots allowance if you're playing the back tees compared to the forward tees. And the forward tees would be considerably less probably than the forward tees you'd get at Wentworth because the rating of the course is different. Plus also the changes of your index. Whereas before it was little 0.1 increases, the handicap system we have now, the WHS, is calculating your best 8 scores of your last 20. And this is where the confusion kicks in. Because you have to have 20 scores on your record for the best 8 of 20 to work. If you don't have 20, then the system has to work out a temporary handicap index. And this is where a lot of people have a problem. I hear and I've seen stories where people say, I've just shot a round, I've just shot 10 over, but my handicap is 1. Well, the reason for that is because you haven't got enough cards in. You haven't got enough scores in the system. You might only have 3, a 10 over, a 5 over, and a 1 over. In which case, you're going to get a very low handicap index because at that small number of scores, the card that's counting is the lowest one. The more cards and scores you put on, the quicker your handicap index can become calculated and correct and accurate to your playing ability. And this is where the confusion starts, with a lower number of cards. Now, there are other issues with regards to WHS that people come up about, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that in the next video when we talk about that best 8 of 20. But to summarize, the WHS index is a portable index. It gives you and computes into a shot allowance for the course or tee set you're playing on that day, wherever you are. And there's a board at each club to show you can see exactly what your index is and how many shots you're going to get. And it gives you the ability to be playing from a shot allowance at the course you're playing that reflects your current playing ability, because it's worked on a rolling average and not just a simple 0.1 back, 0.1 back, 0.1 back, 0.1 back. In 30 rounds, you can become someone really totally in form or somebody that's totally out of form, yet you're still only getting 0.1 back. Whereas the system that we have now works out on a rolling average. And that's the benefit of WHS. In the second video, I'm going to talk a little bit about how those 8 scores are managed and how they can impact your index up and down, and where some of the confusion lies with that. But I hope this has been a benefit, and I look forward to speaking to you soon.